everyone, happy Friday. I know that some of you are about ready to begin taking your text structure formative, and I wanted to make sure that I reviewed with you what I was looking for in your constructed response. A constructed response is just the one short answer question that's going to be on your test other than the multiple choice items. So to begin this, I wanted to review the fact that we looked at this particular passage yesterday in class. I'm going to enlarge it on our screen. This was Secrets of the Stones. What we did yesterday in class was answered two multiple choice questions. When we looked at those multiple choice questions, the first one asked us to identify the purpose of this particular sentence and why the author included it. When we looked at that sentence, we noticed that it was at the end of this second paragraph, and that part of its purpose was to prepare the reader for this paragraph and this paragraph. It's very important that we understand that ending sentences and paragraphs at times either close up the idea of that paragraph or link to a new idea. And this one, since it's talking about many questions that are still remaining and then leading into possible answers, we know that that sentence has acted as a transition into the next idea. Another question that might be asked right here is similar to this one, and this is going to be very close to what your constructed response question will be like. It asks you to explain how the first two paragraphs fit into the account's overall structure. Cite at least two details from the text to support your explanation. In order to do that, it's very important that I, of course, go back to my passage and look at those first two paragraphs. When I look at that, I have to also remember the structure of typical informational texts. When I think about that, I know that the first paragraph in an introductory text is meant to give me an idea of the main idea of the topic, or what is the passage, the entire article going to talk about. It also sometimes hooks the reader in, so I may think about that, and overall just provides a good introduction to the entire passage. So those are some key buzzwords that I'm going to be looking for. And I notice that it's introducing us by kind of describing where Stonehenge is and what it looks like. So I'm going to make sure that I include those details in my constructed response. Secondly, I'm going to look at the second paragraph. Now I notice right away that there's a subheading. What are the secrets of Stonehenge? I want to remember that. That's important. That's telling me what this passage is going to be explaining. When I look here, I notice a lot of details. 5,000 years old. The site includes animal bones, stone tools, and bone skewers. These are a lot of details, and anytime I see details that are surrounding a particular topic, I know that that's going to be a description text structure. So I want to make sure that I include that in my constructed response as well. Once I've acquired all that knowledge from those two paragraphs and going back and thinking about the purpose and the function and the text structure, I think I'm ready to write my constructed response. So what I'm going to show you is what I'm looking for, and this is an exemplary response. So I'm going to pull it up and I'm going to read it out loud to you, and you guys can use this as a model for your constructed response on your formative. What I did was I first talked about the first paragraph. The first paragraph introduces the reader to the topic of Stonehenge by explaining where and what the structure looks like. The second paragraph describes Stonehenge in further detail by providing its age and ancient items found there. Both paragraphs help to interest the reader by mentioning how mysterious the site truly is. What I've done there when I look at that is, first of all, I've used key buzzwords. Introduces the reader. Topic of Stonehenge. I'm making it specific to the passage. Explanation. Where and what the structure looks like. So I'm making sure I'm being specific to the passage. Then the second paragraph, notice I'm using a text structure word. Describe Stonehenge. And then I'm giving exact details that are paraphrased. Age and ancient items found there. And lastly, but most important, I'm talking about the purpose. What is the purpose of these two paragraphs? Well, the purpose is to get the reader engaged and ready to learn more about Stonehenge. So because of that purpose, the reader is going to continue to read about the secrets and thus get a better understanding of the topic of Stonehenge in general. I've now walked you through all the steps on how to answer that constructed response question. Be careful. Think about the buzzwords that we talked about and how you can incorporate text structure into your answer. If you have any questions on your formative, of course, feel free to ask, or you can rewatch this video and look at my sample that is going to be posted on the whiteboard today. I hope this helped, and I know you guys will do great. Just use your critical thinking skills and think about all of our different text structures that we've talked about and the purpose of sentences and paragraphs within a text. Bye.